Isn't this the point? I mean, you mentioned earlier about victimhood, that in fact they have actually imbibed a line which is that it's all sewn up, there's no point in doing anything, and also, for that matter, you are, by sheer virtue of being who you are, a victim. Isn't that right?
And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
What's the point of trying when I already know the system's set up to make me fail? So why try? That's the reason why I never played football with my friends, because I was rubbish. So therefore, what was the point of playing and being humiliated? So I wouldn't play football. All my friends went on to play, semi-pro and football teams and pubs, because my mentality, which could be right or wrong, was, what's the point? I'm no good. And if you translate that to the kids we're working with on the streets, if they've been told all the time that they're no good, that they're a failure, that the system is set up for them to fail, and we wonder why they don't try. We wonder why they give up on education.
I think a lot of people, certainly people, I would say many people on the hard left, want to keep people victims. I think they almost want to keep that. They don't want them to be aspirational or succeed, because then that would rather interfere with their narrative about basically this shocking oppressive system we've got.
I'll go one step further. I agree with that. One step further. They don't want people to succeed, because what are they going to do then?
Yeah.
Where are their charity cases? Where's their amateur social work going to go then, when they can't start working with the disenfranchised, the poor, the people being held down because they're black, because the people who can't get on in life because they've got a different religion or because they're gay? What their dinner party is going to be about, what they're going to talk about, if they're not saying, this is what I do in my spare time, and I went on this march and we pulled down that statue, and because we pulled down that statue, 84,000 people in this country now have better lives because that statue came down. I'll be the first one to admit, the statue in Bristol, they've really heard of the guy. Never even heard of the man.
No one really had, yeah.
And where does their virtue signalling go if we start raising everybody up? They've got a vested interest.
You started the charity, didn't you, in 2011? And you've won awards, haven't you?
Handful of awards. The charity's won handful of awards.
Yeah.
From the police, from local government, from all over.
But why did you start it, though? I mean, what made you think I want to start helping these people? I'm not saying there's got to be any ulterior motive. I just wondered what it was.
I'd already been doing it, so I'd spent a decade working at Manchester Council. And my job there was, the first 5 years was working with young people, stopping getting involved in crime and antisocial behaviour, working with the parents, trying to give the parents more support, and basically trying to get the young people to understand your actions have consequences. These will be the consequences. Is this what you want? Because this is what's going to happen. And having frank conversations with them. Very informally, this wasn't police cautions, nothing like that. And then I did another job in the council then, looking at certain areas of the city centre, looking at reducing crime and antisocial behaviour over a larger scheme. Again, a lot of that was to do with young people as well. And then in 2011, the austerity kicked in. Manchester had huge cuts, like all councils did. I think Manchester's lost something like 60% of its budget. Really? They made huge cuts, redundancies. I was one of them. Again, I didn't blame the council. They had to make huge decisions, and they had a no redundancy policy, so I could have stayed. They offered me a job in elections and a job in healthy eating, and I went, no thank you. I could stay there, but I'm going to leave in 6 months' time depressed because these jobs I don't want to do. So rather than be a typical council worker, I take the money and moan. It's like, no, I'll take the money on the table and I'll carry on this work, working with young people, but I'll do it better than what I could here, because there'll be no red tape. That's why I set up the charity, to carry on that sort of work. So 2 decades I've been involved in this sort of work.